how AI will destroy the simplest philosophy to riches, but at first it will amplify it. Now, when I say riches, I mean riches to life, not just money. And when I say destroy, I literally mean kind of change society, and AI will. And I'm going to explain exactly why I think this. But before I explain, you're probably wondering, who is this goof? Like, why should I listen to this guy? And you're right. My name is Luke Cashman. I'm 21 from Gold Coast, Australia. I have multiple businesses, but my two main businesses are my software company and my scaling infrastructure company. And I've also been honored to be in partnership with a revolutionary AI and investment company called Zenko, who I genuinely believe will change the way we invest and help us avoid this dystopian future that embraces the Molochy capitalist societal structure that we're currently in, which needs to change. And that's a whole nother video, but it's sounding like I'm pretty accomplished for 21. However, like 3 years ago, I went down this massive rabbit hole of self-help, self-development. And for 2 years, it felt like I was like treading water on how to make money online, all this stuff. And it wasn't until 1 year ago I figured out this one thing, which I'm about to teach you. And it changed everything. And it's allowed me to live a life of purpose and wealth. Now, once I figured this one thing out, I've not only been able to work remotely and own some businesses, I've been able to travel the world to New Zealand, Romania, Switzerland, Barcelona, Morocco, Bali, which I'm in right now. And I've played multiple sports all while doing this. I had my first amateur boxing match and won. I've had a beautiful girlfriend for 3 years, maintained a great relationship with my family, created amazing friends across the globe, and my desire to help others has never been stronger. And I don't say this to brag. I actually hate saying all this type of stuff because I haven't mentioned any of my failures, any of my ups and downs. But the reason I still tell you all of these things is to give legitimate insight into my life, build trust, and hopefully inspire you. So enough rambling, let's get into the source. Leverage. Leverage is the subject of today. Leverage equals, this is the definition of leverage. Leverage equals time, essentially. So the input of time compared to the output of time generated. So good leverage looks like the input of time is way less than the output of time generated. Bad leverage looks like the input of time is greater than the output of time generated. Time also equals money in this sort of mindset because all money is built, stored up energy of time. We trade our time for money, even though money is not limited, right? Keeps getting printed. So, but just for this sake of this video, let's imagine we think like this: time equals money. Okay, we put in time for our job and we get a certain amount of money back. Is that the most amount of leverage we can create? Or could we become a doctor, put time in to generate more money because of our knowledge? So creating leverage is good because it helps us win back time to do the things we enjoy. So sometimes there's sacrifices of time to get out more time in the long run. And there's this big paradox of like, you only live once, but then if you're living like that, you're not actually getting the most out in your later years of life. So there's a big paradox here, but it's also another video. We want to just quickly go over the 5 forms of leverage. And I'm a big advocate of balance, all right? And managing, like, life isn't all about creating leverage. It's also about enjoying the fruits of your labor and etc. But let's go over the 5 forms of leverage. Now, we've got at the top here, it's not necessarily the top because it's just like them, because knowledge can give you access to capital, right? Your network can get you access to capital. If you create code and you sell it, that can get you access to capital. If you work, that can get you access to capital. But we can also see that if you have capital, aka born rich, you can buy someone to code you, a software. You can have access to labor to then work for you and generate you more money. So, hey, I want to open up a coffee shop where all these people work for me, and there's a little profit margin on the coffees, and that's where I make money. So that's a form of leverage. But then you also have the software inside of the coffee store that manages all the inventory and the logistics and also the ordering. And there's also the software that when you tap your card, whoever invented that card machine gets a percentage of that because it's code. Now, there's also the form of leverage, which I mentioned earlier, which is knowledge. So if I become a doctor, or basically if I know something you don't, I'm considered more valuable. Or if I know something a large amount of people don't in a one area in the world, in your state, in your town, you're considered to have more leverage. Okay. And then there's network and influence. So network and influence is like the people you know, how you're able to communicate. Right? Can you communicate your idea effectively? Your perceived value of what you have to offer. So this is all kind of network slash influence. So how are you able to, what's your access to certain people, and how are you able to show the perceived value of your product? Now, let's move this over. I don't know why I say that. But using what's shown in this graph, look at every existing business and identify what leverage they're using. So I just gave you a couple of examples in a coffee store, but this will help you identify what business opportunities you personally should follow, what tools you should be implementing into your business, your life, and so on. So applying this mental model to life will allow you to get the most out of life without a doubt, not just business. Okay, now here's just a few. Here's how the most rich use leverage. I don't know why I said the most rich, but let's ignore that for now. So you're either born with money or time. You can use your money to create time, or you can use your time to learn and create more, create a better product. Product can be a service. A product can be so many things. Everything's a product. We're all products. Everything's transactional in a way. All right. And then that product, you're a product to your employer, right? You get money for that because you provide a service or a certain type of value. Value is a product, whatever. Then that money will allow you more time. And when you have more time, you can create, and then the loop goes on, and you become more valuable. You learn more skill sets, or you build your own business, and then you make more money. And this is the freedom loop. This is the mindset you should be in. Now let's look at what Warren Buffett used. So here's the freedom loop of Warren Buffett. So first he had time. He studied stocks. He became knowledge. So he used his knowledge. Also would have used network and influence. And then he would invest in stocks. And he also was able to identify that stocks generate a lot of leverage, not a lot of output. He was letting his money, so he had the knowledge that money and the financial literacy knowledge that money would generate him more money. And he repeated this process. Simple. Now we look at Facebook. More time, they improve slash test products and solutions. So that would generate more attention on their platform. So why did they move to Reels? TikTok was originally the only thing with Reels, but then they had to implement that so that they could have more people stay on the platform. They could get more data from the people, and that data ultimately can be used to optimize for people's ads. So when people pay to show ads on their platform, it's a generating loop for them. So they generate more money through their ads or selling the data, and then that generates them more money, which means more time. Right? If you're not making money, you can't feed the family, you collapse. So money equals more time. Money is survival. That's just the world we live in. Now, if we look at a more in-depth example that I like to use for like online businesses, and this is what really changed everything for me, you either got money or time. It's what we start off with in life. That's everything. And maybe we have a really smart brain that's built different. Anyways, we create a better product slash delivery of product. All right. and then that's the learning phase. So we're learning where to implement leverage. So say with my online product, I learn something about, okay, here's how to get abs faster. This is a real life example. If I know a way to get abs that my broad audience don't, and it's a new way, I implement that. In return, I get better results, happier clients. Happier clients means better testimonials, means I can show testimonials to my people, to my audience, and then that will create more demand. Then I can charge more, supply and demand, I can charge more. And then once I charge more, I can even create a better offer because I know I can get better results. So maybe I can implement a guarantee. And this is just like a turbine moving. It's like one thing leads to the next. And it's like it's the freedom loop. If you implement the right leverage, you're going to create more leverage in other spots. So for example, like a coffee shop, if you create coffee, right, and you implement a machine to make the coffee, and there's a one-person cafe store, these actually exist, you not only remove the need to pay an employee to make the coffees, but the coffees are made quicker. So now you can pump out more coffees in a short amount of time. So, and then you have a happier customer, and then the customer's coming back. So it's just if you choose the right leverage, it's going to create time and money, and it's going to have a compounding effect to create more leverage. Now, here's the history of leverage. Firstly, knowing how to survive, the knowledge for survival. So people had to learn how to hunt. People had to learn what foods they could eat, what was poison, etc. And this allowed them more time. Now, in today's day and age, it doesn't allow us more time, it allows us more money, which helps us survive in return. We have to make money to survive in today's day and age. Now, if we look at the influence slash network, humans creating tribes to achieve like better living conditions. I wrote it wrong, but this goes off the back of survival. So originally, okay, my mom told me, do not touch this plant, this is going to kill me. But eventually, then we got into tribes and we were able to hunt together. We were able to get bigger prey and, eat a lot better, be more efficient. Teamwork makes the dream work. So that was influence and network and knowledge coming together. Then we look at labor, all right, how we leverage labor and suppression of knowledge. This is how we built empires. Okay, a good example would be American slavery in the United States. Laws and practices were established to prevent slaves from learning to read and write. Okay, and we look at a more modern day. So this is suppressing knowledge. So if you can suppress the knowledge and actually hold the knowledge to yourself, as I said before, the crowd does not have the knowledge that you have, so therefore you have leverage on them. And this created a compounding effect. So the next example would be control of mass media. So another example of suppression of knowledge, the control of information is not limited to the context of slavery. The monopolization of mass media by a few major multinational corporations and governmental secrecy and modern examples of how information control is used to influence and govern societies. That you can just tell that was straight out of ChatGPT. So BlackRock, basically. If you go look up BlackRock, you can see they own all the news companies. They control the narrative, right? They control the government, whatever. Let's move on. Whoops. I hope you still got the message. People control the mass media, and that therefore controls society. Therefore, they get what they want. Therefore, we are still slaves. Then, okay, labor paired with knowledge. So when rulers paired, slaves with knowledge, it created capital. Okay, you work for me, you build my house, I sell this house, and then I get all the money. So capital became the most powerful source of leverage. Then code became the most powerful form of leverage as technology advanced. And that is consequently why top 8 stocks, and I don't even know the rest, but look at them. They're all tech companies and all leveraging code. All right. Now, let's look at the big distribution AI. Okay, so as we had before, this is the same graph. we've got capital equals code. Capital gives you access to everything, right? That's why the rich stay rich. But if we look at AI, now AI can perform labor. AI can perform code. AI has all the knowledge. AI can influence people. It understands human nature. It has access to every device in the world, every network in the world. All it needs is energy. So theoretically, AI will run the world, and computer power will be the currency. But that's another video. Because yeah, it's going to flip society on its head, unless the people in power hold it and they control it, which is looking like it's happening. But yeah, another video again. What this means for us now from a logical standpoint, right? And where the opportunity is. Simply, we are in the easiest and most lucrative gold rush ever. Not like the old gold rush when men had to tirelessly have to work and dig holes. No. If you apply the lessons of leverage I have just shown you, you will succeed because AI is not mainstream, it's not common knowledge, commonly used or commonly leveraged. Therefore, using AI, you can upgrade your services or your life, whatever you want, to create the ultimate arbitrage of time put in and value created. Time in, time out. Right? It's not mainstream. No one's using it. As like people are using it, but the whole world isn't. And the whole world isn't thinking the way you're thinking now and how to leverage it. So for example, from a business perspective, and this is what people are actually doing, they're saying, I will manage your Instagram DMs for $50 per day. And if you don't get 10 new clients in a month, you don't pay. So this is just a simple offer. And let's look at the old way of how they would deliver this, right? They would have to use their knowledge, okay, the communication skills, what they've learned, how to get people to buy products, and their labor, so their time. And they would manage these Instagram DMs. And they would get paid in return, so $2,000 a month. But they would spend 30 hours, all right? The new way. Hey, I'll use AI to manage your Instagram DMs, and you still pay me that same amount, but you don't know it's AI. And well, I'm still getting you the same results. No one else is offering AI. Look, I've got $2,000 every month, and my time spent is zero, recurring. Yeah, there might be set up time, but maybe 10 for an infinite output because this is the power of code. Once you build the code, it works itself. It does the labor. So, for example, from an everyday person perspective, and this is what people are currently doing, I read 10 books a year. The old way, time, labor, money to buy 10 books, and then the output, your knowledge goes up. Knowledge creates leverage, right? You can use whatever you learned in those books, but your time spent was 20 hours. Now, I'm not even sponsored by perplexity.ai, just like ChatGPT combined with Google. And yeah, it's really amazing. But just think about it. You can get the full rundown of books. You can go in depth on the subjects if you want. And your time spent is 5 hours and your knowledge, boom, boom, boom. And there's no wasted time as well. Some books have fluff, you can get right to the guts. So this is the new way. As you can see, your knowledge on AI will be your leverage against the marketplace in the next few years. And if you're not implementing it, you are simply falling behind, whether you like it or not. However, there will come a day where AI is mainstream and the playing fields are leveled. Everyone's using AI in their services. And then there'll be another day that will come where there is no playing field because AI does all the work. A lot of this video could be broken down into multiple videos. However, I want to leave it at this one statement. Integrate AI into your business/life right now, or you pay the price in the near future. And if you want to make the first step into integrating AI into your business, I have built an Instagram AI appointment setting chatbot for business owners that integrates with an entire CRM, has many other cool features. It's an all-in-one software solution. And I did a full breakdown on all its features. The link is in the bottom. It's by Hack Growth Digital, my software company. And all of that was not just to plug my business, right? It still will open up the minds of many. And if you apply this, you might not, you don't need an appointment setting chatbot. You might need better processes in the back end. Like you might need to make your team more efficient so you can get more out of them in a shorter amount of time. You might need to learn better. You might want to do research even better. You might want to not watch all these podcasts and summarize them quickly and get the guts and see if it's actually worth it for you. So this is not, yeah, just to plug my business. This is really just to help many, and I hope this applied to everyone because that's what this was for. This was not meant to be specific for business owners. This is for everyone, and anyone can apply it right now. I'm sorry to be so dramatic on like AI will run the world one day, but if we look at it from a logical standpoint, um, it's possible, and there is a possible great outcome by that. We can live a life of more purpose, more aligned with our needs, or there is a dystopian and really sci-fi downhill Ready Player One outcome. But I'm very optimistic about it, and I hope it's the first one. Oh, and yeah, like and subscribe. You don't need to comment, but if you have questions, if your mind's racing and you want to ask something, or if you have rebuttals or objections, or if you want to say, oh, you're so dumb for AI, you think AI is going to do all this, yeah, let me know. Happy to discuss. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Let me know what more videos you want to create. Basically off your comments, I will create more videos off the back of them. But yeah, also follow my Instagram if you want, shorter form stuff of this. And yeah, thank you for watching.